This is section 7.4, day 2, and today we're going to finish talking about special right triangles. In the previous lesson we did 45, 45, 90s, and today we're going to do 30, 60, 90s. The rule or the pattern for these guys is the one across from the 30 is the x, the one across from the 60 is x square roots of 3, and the hypotenuse is 2x. So we're going to set up our table the same way for every problem, just like we did in the 45, 45, 90 lesson. So I'm going to go 30, 60, 90, x roots 3, 2x. The one side I got was this one, and it is across from the 30. So that means this, the 30 is 2x square roots of 3. So that's what our x is. So going to figure out our 60, we're just supposed to take our x value, whatever it is, and plop it in front. So 2 root 3 with a root 3. Which ends up being 2 times 3 for a total of 6. The hypotenuse is supposed to be 2 times the x. This is our x, and I'm doing 2 times it. And you only multiply the outside, so 2 times 2 is 4. Next one, we have got another 30, 60, 90. X squared roots of 3, 2x. And I'm just going to look at one half of the triangle. I don't need to look at both of them. They're the same thing. So I'll just look at this one right here. And I've got the hypotenuse, and I've got this side. The hypotenuse is 6. So if I just solved that quickly, divided both sides by 2, my x would be 3, which is true because across from the 30, which is right there, is the 3 side. And then the 60 side is a 3 with a square root of 3 on it. Next triangle, another 30, 60, 90. And setting up our table, we've got x squared roots of 3, 2x. Look for the one number you have, that's the 9, and it's across from the 60. So it has to go right here. Now that's one of the more difficult ones to do when you don't get it with a square root of 3 on it. This is a little trickier to do. So I'm going to take it off to the side so I have a little bit of room. And we actually have to fence it. So we're going to divide by root 3. We're trying to figure out what x is, what just the x would be. And now I have 9 over square root of 3, which we can't have. We can't have square roots in the bottom. So what we do is multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. And so now I end up with 9 square roots of 3 over 3. So just reducing a little bit, I end up with 3 root 3. So just to walk through that again, because I was off the side of the paper, I just took this problem kind of off to the side, and I'm going to fence it. I'm trying to solve for x, so I had to divide by the root 3 to get it over here. Can't have roots in the bottom, so we multiply by the root 3 over root 3. And then going straight across, I get 9 root 3 over 3, and then we just reduced a little bit. So my x is 3 square roots of 3. So when I go to do my hypotenuse, I should just be multiplying the outside by 2, so I end up with 6 root 3. One more example, a word problem this time. It says the body of a dump truck is raised to empty a load of sand. How high is the 14-foot body if you have a 45-degree angle? And then we'll do it if it was a 60. So first, if it was a 45. And this is the triangle we're looking at. So 45's there. And then they told me the hypotenuse is 14, that the bed of the truck is 14. So using that information means the hypotenuse is 14, so this is 14. Fencing that, divide by my root 2, kind of like we just did up above with that root 3 example. Can't have a root in the bottom, so we'll root 2 it. So I got 14 root 2 over, and then square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. So just reducing a little bit, I find out that my x is 7 square roots of 2. Now we're going to try it if it was a 30, 60, 90. So my triangle would look like this, and they want this angle to be a 60. This is still 14, and we just have to figure out all the other sides. So x squared roots of 3, 2x. We know the hypotenuse is 14, so fencing that, divide by 2, I get 7. So my x is 7. And then I'm just supposed to use my x with a root 3 on it, so 7 root 3. So that is your 30, 60, 90 triangle. I highly suggest you set this little table up each time, find the one number you get, and then set it equal to that, and then figure out your other two around that one value.